I saw a clip somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know
Yes,
what your
ma'am.
reasoning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck. And we
Yeah,
all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use. Do you know that George Floyd was saying, "I couldn't breathe," well before that restraining technique? And
So why'd they use the technique if he already couldn't breathe?
Well, because he was actually resisting arrest, and they had to restrain him, and they restrained him in a way that they were taught to do, which is the knee on the neck technique.
Okay, so when does the technique end? Like when they die? Like he said he couldn't breathe.
No, I mean the technique ends when the individual stops resisting arrest. His cause of death was not asphyxiation; it was drug overdose. He had
that was a part of it. Like he also had a heart thing, and like he was on drugs, but like he wouldn't have just died if he was standing there. Like they had his.
Well,
their knee
actually,
on his
there's an
neck.
argument to be made. According to the medical examiner, he was drug overdosing in real time. That it wasn't because of the police officer, Derek Chauvin, that put his knee on the neck. And again, they were taught to do that. According to the Hennepin County Police Department, they teach that as an approved restraint technique. And by the way, this is just a broader point. Our whole country blew up because of this incident, and it was largely based on a lie. Largely based on a lie. We were all
What was the lie?
The lie is that there was a white police officer that went after a black person just because he was black, and it just wasn't true. He was resisting arrest.
Okay, but he killed him. Like that doesn't.
Well, again, the county medical examiner disagrees. The county medical examiner in the original report.
So then why was he? Why did he get sentenced?
Exactly.
Like,
That's a good
No, I'm
question.
saying-
It's because it was largely a show trial where actually they were not allowed to submit
what
evidence.
trial?
A show trial. A show trial is an example where you put people on display or a show for a political purpose or political means. And this is an example of that, where Derek Chauvin was not given a fair hearing in this trial. He was not even allowed to use the police training handbook in his trial to show that he was taught to use that restraining technique.
Okay, so what do you want to happen to Derek Chauvin? Like,
Pardon.
so he's just free? What is that?
Yes.
What message does that send to like?
It should be. It's a message that you should get an actual fair trial and that you're not going to get a trial by media.
Oh man, that's the funniest conversation I've ever seen in my life. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, and great millstone for teaching me this truth. Should Brother Rabbi Knapp come out with a lesson, Lord's wills, edifying to the Lord's elect. What we just saw, or what we just heard, was the person who got shot in his neck. Okay, and this
I saw a clip somewhere that you were trying to get the.
that he had, when he was alive. Now, in a case like this with Derek Chauvin and all of that, I believe a man, we're all worthy of death. And my opinion about it is that it's just that, man. It's better to be repentive and strive for mercy and grace in the eyes of the Lord, because we don't know, when judgment's going to come or in what form we're going to receive it. But, are we any better than Yahweh Shai? He had to receive his judgment, but at least he strived for righteousness, and he still had to go through what he went through. So the point that I'm trying to make is, even though he died in such a way, it's all righteous with the Lord. He's not doing any iniquity by putting him to death. But what he's doing in this video is he's justifying wickedness. Okay, so he's supposed to be a Christian. He's supposed to be upholding Christian values. But a lot of these Christians, they have no clue about what this Bible's actually about. They actually think it's about them because that's the way the Edomite thinks. And I'm not saying he's an Edomite, but he definitely thinks like an Edomite. A lot of Jakes, it don't even matter about your color. A lot of you so-called black people think the same way. He's Esau's programmed to think like that. Oh, nah, it's never Esau's fault. This man, he was resisting arrest. You know, he was doing this, but you know, he wouldn't have died if he put his knee on the neck. Ultimately, we understand, being in this truth, the Lord did it. All right, so that kind of ends it all right there. The Lord wanted him to go, and that's what happened. Okay, it tells you in Psalm 68 and 20 that the issues from death belongeth to the Lord. So that includes what's his name? I can't even think of his name. Black Lives Matter dude with the knee on his neck. I'll call him. You know. I don't know why I can't think of his name. George Floyd. But I want to grab this precept, Exodus 23 and 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. This is a commandment. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment. That's what he's doing. He's resting judgment. You know, he's just, that's what Esau is. He's the wicked. So he's created to think in a way that he can always twist it around and make evil look good. You know, that's just how he's got a warped mind. You know, I'm curious to see what his spirit said when it left its body and he saw he was about to go. Like, what words? Oh, no, I guess that's not a good way of putting it. You know, if he could reverse, if he saw this happen to somebody else, what he would say about that. You know, is it the gun laws that we should fix for you to avoid you getting shot in your neck? Is it what you're saying, or is it something else? You know, should he be persecuted to the highest degree of the law, or maybe he should be pardoned because, you know, he got some type of, you know, he was trained to do things like that. That's how someone taught him. That's how you're supposed to, manage your anger when you can't talk to somebody else. You just put them to death. You know, so it's just weird how some people, in the way that they think, the Lord will get you in a situation where the judgment kind of fits the way you think. You know, so you know the Lord got something to do with it. You know, even the knee on the neck with George Floyd, who, you know, if you fully examine his life, you know, even though our mind is not like the Lord's, and so we don't know why he does the things he does. We trying to get to know it by understanding the scriptures, you know, but he already told us that his mind is not like our minds. You know, what is that? I'm thinking of a bunch of precepts. I know I'm all over the place, but I just find it funny how, you know, someone who thinks like that, who warps judgment, who wrestles with judgment, who can't come up with the conclusion that, hey, this man killed this man. Okay? And guess what? He should get put to death. That's not going to be, see, that's my opinion. You killed the man, and you should get put to death. There shouldn't be you going to jail and all this time. No, he should have got put to death. Okay? Just like it says in the Bible. But he doesn't come, his mind doesn't go back to the scriptures. So, and this is the problem with a lot of people, man. They can't find out the solution. How would the Lord judge these things? First of all, he's not fit to be judging according to the scriptures anyways, just by the way he thinks. You know, he's giving me Edomite vibes. So, okay, let's look this up, as a matter of fact, since I'm here. Exodus 23 and 2, the verse. Actually, I want to get chat. Let's get in chat. Let's see what it says. The verse emphasizes that individual integrity, rather than popular support or intimidation, must guide actions and judgments, even in legal proceedings or when dealing with adversity. Resist peer pressure, uphold justice, prioritize righteousness, seek truth. It's kind of vague. I'm gonna see what Chad says. Because according to the scriptures, following a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak. This is the point that I'm trying to look into. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Now, my understanding of the scripture is you pretty much don't want to pervert justice. If the law says, if the judgment for a person's action says this, you don't try to formulate something in your mind to get around it. That's you wrestling with judgment. But I want to get it in a more of a maybe Chuck can explain it better than that. Exodus 23 verse 2 meaning. Thou shalt not follow, neither shall read it. Meaning, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Israel was being warned against peer pressure and mob influence. Just because many people are doing something doesn't make it right. God calls his people to righteousness, not popularity. You know, just like when Yahweh Shah was being accused, he asked, do you want Barnabas or do you want Yahweh Shah? They wanted to go with the popular vote. And that's what he went with. That's what something Edomite would do. The verse teaches discernment. Truth isn't determined by numbers, but by God's law. So he don't go to the law. And that's the point with a lot of these people, man. Okay? And this is why righteous judgment never goes forth. Because no one's going to the scriptures. What does the Lord say about this? And come up with a conclusion. You hear in the background people agreeing with this devil, you know? So so they think he's right, and the majority of the world, whatever they agree on, is pretty much wrong. In this case, that girl was asking the right questions, and he was giving the wrong answers. Okay. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. This means not to bend testimony or judgment just because the majority is against the truth. To wrest judgment means to twist or pervert justice, and that's what he was doing. God commands fairness, even if it means standing alone against the crowd. Okay? Following after many to do evil, man. That's why we need righteous judges. You know, those who don't have respect of persons. You know, even if his mama was up on trial, whatever she did, according to the Bible, needs to be implemented. Now your emotions and how you feel, that's righteous judgment. You know, nobody wants to put their mama on, but if mommy is doing these things, then you know, hey, there's judgment that comes with it. Let me see these precepts it gives. Leviticus 19:15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. So this is your brother, okay? You got to judge righteous judgment, man. Deuteronomy 16:19, thou shalt not wrest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift both doth blind the eyes of the wise. You know, oh, listen, I'm going to give you a not guilty if you give me some of that money. Proverbs 1:10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, walk not thou in the way with them. Ecclesiasticus 7:6. Seek not to be judged, being not able to take away iniquity, lest any time thou fear the person of the mighty and lay a stumbling block in the way of thy uprightness. Matthew 7:13. Hamashiach warns that the broad way followed by the many leads to destruction, but the narrow way leads to life. So that's what he's doing. He's bending, he's twisting, he's trying to get around the scriptures. Because ultimately, these scriptures, he's the biggest criminal. Esau is the biggest criminal, man. You know, so spiritually, you know, he don't want to take any accountability, just like a woman. You know, he got that Babylon spirit on him. And I think he sincerely believes what he's saying. But it's just funny how what he's saying don't match up with like what's written in the book, but he claims to be someone who believes in the Bible. And a lot of Edomites do this, and it's like, it's really sick, man. Spiritually, it's a disease, man. Job 20:1. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite and said, therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, and for this I make haste. I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causeth me to answer. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? And he's a hypocrite. You know, you can't claim to be, well, Christians do that. They're very hypocritical but they have a lack of understanding. They've been constantly told this lie that they regurgitate, and they think that their actions have no real consequences. And they can never match it up to judgment in the book. Judgment doesn't exist in their minds. You know, it's always excluded. There's a way to get around it. You know, so by them thinking like that, they move and talk a certain way. And that's why they say shit like this. This shows you how defiled this man actually is spiritually. Because he believes in what he's saying. He's saying it with such confidence, but it's wicked. Okay, it's hypocritical. Because what's actually written contradicts what he's actually saying and claiming to say what he believes in. Okay, showing you he's an actor. He's acting, whether he knows it or not. He's a hypocrite. And the triumphant of the wicked is short. Okay? So Zophar, the Naamathite, is telling Job, you know that this is something of old. The wicked don't last long. The thing is, the Lord's allowing this devil to do what he's doing to show this great wrath. Imagine you letting a tab build up, you know, so you can show your anger on to get you the most mad. That's what he set up to do, to make the Lord so mad that he destroys this place, man. And clearly, the Lord is very long suffering. You know, just everything these devils talk about, man. Even after the death of this dude, they want to go attack HBCUs and things like that. What does the HBCU have to do with another white dude killing a white dude? That's what y'all do. That's white on white crime. Why don't y'all just go shoot it out with each other? Nah, everyone else, everyone black and brown, everyone got to get involved with this nigga's bullshit, with his fucking propaganda. You know, this is aggravating, man. Seeing this devil have the capability to even get on TV. Your face, you should be cleaning some fucking floors, man. Job 20:6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? And this is what you need. You need to be perished like dung. Okay? Your head reach unto the clouds, meaning you're proud, man. Your excellency mount up to heavens. You know, you got a lot of success with your, whether it be militarily, you know, AI, you know, you got the power, man. You know, you got all this technology, all this capability, and you're proud. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. Let's look at this word, dung. Because sometimes it don't hit when you speaking Old English.
Strong's H 1561. Galel. Galel.
The globals of dung, especially human, the globals. You won't even say it. I gotta look it up again. The globals of dung. The excrement of animals, manure. Okay? So that's what he is. He gonna perish forever like his own dung. It's shit, man. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Because there's going to be a time where there's never going to have been, there's not going to be any more so-called white people around. Now imagine a world like that. Okay, he gonna be in heaven, and then he gonna disappear. Okay, after he builds it up. Job 20:8, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night, like a bad dream. He's just gonna be gone. All of this bullshit that we see in him, propaganda, political assassinations, wars, bombing sovereign countries, silly shit. It's childish at the end of the day. And then the way he does it, the dude who shot the dude, he got a triangular hat. He got an Eagle Force shirt. He got pentagrams on his Converse. Esau. Very simple, man. Job 20:9. Then Netanyahu comes out. Oh, we would never do that. Sure you wouldn't. After he just bombed Qatar. Job 20:9. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Let me look into that. Let's see what that means. A wicked person's existence is so short and fleeting that those who once knew them will never see them again, and even their home and possessions will no longer recognize or not acknowledge them. And even their home and possessions will no longer. See, this is why I gotta go in the chat, because this ain't working. I thought I had chat already open. Oh, I did. Job 20:9, meaning the eye also which saw him shall see him no more. The wicked may have had power, fame, or presence for a time, but their memory fades quickly. Once destroyed, those who saw and interacted with him will see him no longer. This stresses how fleeting the prosperity of the wicked is, neither shall his place any more behold him. This is what I'm trying to find out. His home, his land, or the possessions he occupied will no longer know him. Okay, so his home is here in Babylon. This land, or the possessions he occupied will no longer know him. Okay. When God removes the wicked, even the very place he lived or ruled acts as though he never was. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay. This aligns with the idea of the wicked being rooted out, leaving no lasting legacy. Perfect. That's what I thought it meant. It's like he never even belonged to him, because it doesn't. That's why he sets up statues all over the country, and you go everywhere you go is a big ass statue of an Edomite. None of that shit's gonna last, man. So there's gonna be no remembrance of Esau. Okay. That reminds me of a precept. Something about the stones will cry out. The stones will cry out, KJV. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I think it's Habakkuk, though. Habakkuk 2:11. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Let me look at this verse. Habakkuk 2:10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, establish a city by iniquity. Okay, so what this is saying is, same thing that he exalts in this land. When you learn about the history of it, you realize it's wicked. The people who he exalts, Christopher Columbus, you go into Andrew Jackson, you go into a lot of these different presidents and all. What did they own? Slaves. They robbed, they stole, they killed. That's why, it's actually speaking up against them. It's his shame for glory. He's putting up his shame, man. That's what he exalts himself in shame. And the more we go into the future, the more everyone's going to hate this damn devil. It's like a blood boiling hatred for this devil. And that's why people don't care about Kirk getting shot in his neck. And this is why he's going to be coming down with great wrath on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because he's being exposed for being the devil that the Bible's talking about. There's a precept in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. And guess what? I can't fucking wait. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But damn, it's gonna be so much fun to see him crash. They're already seeing him crash. Edomites want to retire early. They want to leave the country, man. It's so tyrannical. I can't pay my mortgage. Yeah. Join the party. There's people that can't buy houses. People that can't buy food. There's people that rather do drugs and put themselves to death than live in a world where Esau's the damn ruling power. And we're supposed to have sympathy for you? Please. Good luck. You better pick up pennies. Go get some cans off the ground and go recycle or something. Clean this place up. You go here arguing. There's another No Kings protest coming, I believe, in November. So it's just gonna be popping off the 4th quarter of this year. Wisdom of Solomon 2:1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. Well, that's the mindset of an Edomite. They believe in YOLO. So they think the things that they do, there's no consequences for their actions. Robbing, stealing, killing, that's just the way life is. And the majority of the people think like that. So they're going to be surprised when they find themselves in a position of low degree, being base. Esau can't handle that. That's why what we went through as a people, you lucky you're Israel. You lucky that you lucky you're Israel. Imagine going through the transatlantic slave trade, being a fucking weak ass Edomite. Getting beat with rods as a weak ass Edomite. Going working under the sun picking cotton in a Edomite's body. It's gonna be hell for him, man. And it's gonna be rejoicing. It's gonna be so much fun when we see you sweat, man. It's gonna be great. When you meditate on that as a so-called black man, it makes you feel good, man. This is gospel, man. This is the good news. I can go to sleep and imagine you being whipped and beaten and pricking your fingers on and all that shit you were talking. You gonna be doing that. Black jokes, all of that shit. You gonna be doing that. For we are born at all adventure, Wisdom of Solomon 2:2, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart. Yeah, you live. It's a short time here on the earth. Why don't we be here like it's a damn motel and run a fucking muck and destroy it like you always do? No appreciation for the Lord's creation. Nothing but total disrespect. Wisdom of Solomon 2:3, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. And who said that? The Lord didn't say that. The Lord didn't say he said you got half of it right. And that's what Esau likes to do. That's what Satan likes to do. He'll get the scripture. When you read Matthew the 4th chapter, if you go look at the scriptures the devil was bringing out, he stopped at a certain point when it came to his judgment. Okay? He was hoping you didn't know the scriptures, but in that case, he was coming against Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai he is the word. So he's undefeated. You know? See, you could fool someone like me. I don't know every scripture. You know, I'm striving to, but I don't got the full, how can I put it? I read the whole thing, but to actually hold this knowledge in, it's like you don't know what you need to know when you need to know it at the very moment you need to know it. You don't know what it could be. I mean, there's only 80 books, but it's still a lot. There's a lot within those 80 books, man. You know, so, you know, Yahweh Shai, he's the anointed. We got what we need to get to, you know, where he wants us to go. We all have our measure. And you know, we hope the Lord just meets us wherever we fall short. You know, Lord's will be a part of that number. But the reason why I'm saying this is it's good to study, because then you understand when Yahweh Shai opens the book to you, or this understanding to you, you can see this devil clear as day, man. It's like you're in this dude's brain, in his spirit. Wisdom of Solomon 2:3, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, right? Ashes, you go back to the dust because you came from the dust, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. That's not what happens. Okay? You go see the Heavenly Father, your body goes down, but then guess what? You come back and serve out your judgment. Wisdom Psalm 2:4, and our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. That's right. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof. Yeah, there ain't gonna be, it's poetically said that you ain't gonna be here anymore. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. So they're pretty much adverse to what's written. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. That's what they think. They don't think they go into this slavery, man. That's funny. That's beautiful. Like, and I'm happy the Lord made him just like that. Okay? No fear of the Lord. You know, after I die, it's all good. Even when they're dying, they want, give me some medication, just make it quick. I just want to just help me get over to the other side, just hurry up. They don't want any type of suffering, man. So wait until they find out they gotta come back and they gotta serve Israel. See, the elites, they know this. You know, they know it, man. And they can't do nothing against it. Everything they do, hey, it's all, even Kirk's death, it's all gonna bring forth prophecy. And we can see that it's kind of matching up with Isaiah the 19th chapter on how he's gonna turn Egyptian against Egyptian. Because those people who were following him, as a matter of fact, let me grab this. I was watching this on X. Oh, I gotta get that too. Look at this nigga here.
That bullet did not kill Charlie Kirk. That bullet made him immortal forever, a martyr in our movement. That bullet did not kill Charlie Kirk. Because we are all Charlie Kirk now. That bullet.
And as funny as it sounds, they're dead serious. They're dead serious, man. Esau don't look too scary without a gun in his hand. But these men definitely have some guns, man. Esau got some guns, man. And he's a violent man. He's very violent, man. He looks at all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as immigrants, Democrats, even if you're not. That's how he looks at you. You know? And a lot of y'all, you trim your way to try to be with him, and guess what? He gonna kill you. After you done everything you could to do to be his friend, he gonna kill your ass. That's what he did in the past, man. Set up your own people to come up against you, and then what he do with you? He fucking oppressed the fuck out of you, killed you. You weren't liberated with him. Never trust thy enemy. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 6. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. And they're enjoying the fatness of the earth. Your inheritance. Somebody lived here before Esau got here, and he's enjoying their shit. All the wealth he has was all stolen. He didn't get anything by working for it. No, he got it by the sword. And the Lord gave him that sword. And he gonna use that sword against him. I like this precept, as a matter of fact, in let me see if I got it, Matthew 26. Matthew 26 and verse, I'll start off 51. And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Then said Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. And that's what's going to happen to Esau. But God, he loved so much, gave him the sword as Isaac. Okay? Isaac mean, hold on, what does Isaac mean? He shall laugh, and he gonna laugh. He's laughing at him now. Let me grab that in Genesis 22, I believe it is. And 2. Let me just grab Isaac's name. He laughs. Yo, man, I'm telling you, this word is ill. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 6 again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. I'm thinking that's talking about the creation. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 6, meaning. I'm going to go into that word creatures, because when you use the Apocrypha, there's no interlinear. But the chat does a good job of finding a Hebrew equivalent or Greek equivalent sometimes. Let's see. Creatures, creation, things created, living beings. Here it implies using up the created world for selfish pleasure, and that's what he's doing. Using the created world that was created in Genesis 1:1 by who? Through the Most High, and His Son, and Elohim, the powers, destroying it. And those same powers are here watching it be destroyed and having to suffer through it. And he takes pleasure in destroying it. Like as in youth, like he's a kid. He doesn't know what he's messing with. And he's head over all of this. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. And this is what they should be doing. Partying all the damn time. Just a big damn joke. Right now, you already see people getting ready for Halloween. They're wicked as hell, man. Rejoice and be glad, Lamentations 4:21, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked, and you're going to drink the cup. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 7, let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Okay, yeah, you got a temporary rulership. It's not gonna, because ultimately this world wasn't created for you, Esau. Okay. Isaiah. 47. Come down, Isaiah 47:1. Come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So there's no throne for you here, man. Okay. No throne. I'm trying to think. I think it's 58. I can't think of it. Is it 59? I can't think of it. Yeah. There's no throne for you, Esau. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 9. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this. Yeah, you want to leave tokens that you were here. And we're going to destroy all of that. All your groves, all your statues, every remembrance of you is going to be destroyed. The temples. What else do you have that could be remembered? Your memorials with everyone who died in battle. Trash, garbage. Okay. Your What else you got? Graves and shit with your tombstones. Destroyed. Throw that shit in the trash. All burnt up anyway. Everything you have over here is gonna be destroyed. And anywhere else in that big, huge statue of you in Brazil, that's just gonna. I can't wait to see that shit break. I wonder what the Lord's gonna do with that. Is he gonna push it on his face? He strikes it with lightning. He be beating that thing up, man. I'm sure you got to do repair work on that all the time. Okay. He might just melt it. Who knows? Big ass statue of a damn Edomite. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Yeah, that's what you do. Just oppressive. Isaiah 47, verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily heavily laid thy yoke. And you did that in slavery. Okay. Let's ask Google. How long did the so-called white man keep black people in slavery? How old were black people working before they died? Let's see what it says. In the United States, the legal institution of slavery lasted for approximately 246 years from 1619 to 1865. However, the lifespan and life expectancy of enslaved black people varied drastically by region and time period and were severely reduced by inhumane conditions. In August 1619, a Dutch ship brought 20 and odd enslaved Africans to Point Comfort in the English colony of Jamestown, Virginia. And the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution officially abolished slavery. I don't know, I'm getting tired. Slavery throughout the nation on December 6, 1865. While this formally ended the legal institution of slavery, various forms of racial subjugation such as forced labor under the prison system and peonage, continue for decades. You're still in slavery today, as I'm doing this video. Peonage is a system of forced labor where a debtor is compelled to work to repay a debt. It is a form of debt slavery where the terms of labor are often undefined, allowing employers to indefinitely demand services and gain significant control over the laborer. Peonage is illegal in the United States, and he does that all the time. Having been abolished by the Anti-Peonage Act of 1867, however, after the Civil War, it persisted in the U.S. South through practices like the convict lease system and the criminal surety statutes, which forced African Americans, Israelites, into servitude for minor or fabricated debts. And this is what this fucking devil does, man. New laws, new unrighteous decrees, no mercy. Debt bondage. A person pledges their labor or service as security to repay a debt. Undefined terms. The debt amount or the value of the labor required for repayment is often not clearly or reasonably stated. Coercive control. This ambiguity allows the debt holder to exert control over the laborer, making it difficult or impossible for them to escape the situation. And he's mastered slavery. A lot of y'all don't even know you're in slavery anymore. You think you're free. That's how good Esau got slavery, man. He's sharpened all of this shit, man. You actually think he likes you. He even learned how to smile in front of your face, man. He's a good devil. cycle of indebtedness. Workers can become trapped in a continuous cycle where the debt is never truly repaid. Does that sound familiar? Peonage in the United States post-Civil War following the abolition of slavery. Many southern states implemented new forms of involuntary servitude, which federal officials declared to be peonage. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Actually, I want to get the pronunciation.
With Liberty Mutual.
Of course, I gotta watch a fucking stupid ass commercial just to hear a word.
Peonage.
Alright, so I said it right. Well, I said peonage. Put my little French accent twist to it. Peonage, life expectancy of enslaved people. Actually, did I read that? I read that. Accurate life expectancy data for enslaved people is difficult to gather due to unreliable records, but historians have been able to make estimates. These figures reveal a life expectancy dramatically lower than that of their white contemporaries. Key factors affecting life expectancy: infant and child mortality. Percent of enslaved infants died in their first year of life. No mercy, man. Probably beating them, raping them, treating them like shit. High death rates for children. Black children twice as likely to die as white children up to age 14. Probably eating them, feeding them to alligators, feeding them to dogs. No mercy. Chronic malnutrition. Infants were often weaned early and fed a diet of low nutritional cornmeal, contributing significantly to high mortality rates. Weaned early. Brutal working conditions. The demanding and dangerous work on plantations, especially sugar plantations in the Caribbean and Spanish Americas, led to extremely short lifespans, with some enslaved people dying after only 7 years. Estimated life expectancies, low estimate. Due to high infant and child mortality, some estimates place the average life expectancy at birth for an enslaved person in the mid-19th century as low as 21 to 22 years. High estimate. Other analysis place the average life expectancy for a slave in 1850 at around 36 years. Comparison to white population, these estimates were roughly half or significantly lower than the average life expectancy for white Americans during the same period, which was between 40 and 43 years. Working until death. That sounds about right. Enslaved people who survived childhood often worked until they died. For older individuals, workloads might be reduced, but plantation owners ultimately determine their fate. No mercy, man. Very upon the ancient has thou verily heavily laid thy yoke. That's Esau. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon 2:10. Let us suppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. And they didn't spare the widow. Kill your husband, take your kids, ship them across town, shut the fuck up, and I'm going to rape you until you die. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So that's where they're going to come down on you with this great wrath, with these laws. It's going to start with these laws, these unrighteous decrees. Oh, now we can New Mexico, the Supreme Court, these are the judges. Okay, they must have not have read Matthew the 25th chapter, where the Lord said, "When have we did this to you, Lord? Well, if you did it to one of them, you did it unto me." He's oppressing them. Okay. So that's why he's going to be on the left-hand side. He's going to deserve to be on that side. Just like the elect are going to deserve to be on this side, because they are programmed to be a certain way. Okay? Even though he got the Mossad, he can come shoot you on the rooftop and dip out the back, get away with it. You know, the Lord's going to be fighting for his elect. This devil can't move unless the Lord allows him to. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. And, what was I? And 11, let our strength be the law of justice. Yeah, they call it justice, man. This nigga don't know nothing about justice. If he knew about justice, he'd hang himself. For that which is feeble is found nothing to be worth. Let me get into this. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 11, meaning. The second part of that is nothing to be worth. Okay, let our strength be the law of justice. The wicked redefine justice. That's exactly what they do, according to power. Whoever is strongest decides what is right. That's right. Instead of God's law being their standard, they make their own rule. Might makes right. I like that. Might makes right. This is lawlessness disguised as justice. Woo. Even his AI is fucking speaking up against him, man. His own AI. This is all supposed to work in his favor. It doesn't work in your favor, man. Because even if chat got it wrong, you can ask it in a way that it just is. We're choking AI to tell the truth. We're fucking AI up, man. As long as it's bringing out the truth, man, it works. It works in the elect's favor. But you gotta have the truth, man. You gotta have the Spirit dealing with you. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. This is what I was looking for. They despise the weak, poor, and humble, considering them useless. The wicked equate value with power, not with righteousness. The mindset leads to oppression, exploitation, and persecution of the just, which the rest of the chapter describes. So for that which is feeble, I want him to get more into this. Elaborate on this more. Good. Let's go deeper into the line. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. The wicked in their thinking conclude the weak are worthless. And they openly say that, you worthless eaters. Anything or anyone without power, wealth, or physical might is considered useless in their eyes. They don't measure worth by wisdom, righteousness, or godliness, but by strength and dominance. Spiritual meekness is despised. Traits like humility, gentleness, patience, and dependence on God are seen as weakness by the ungodly, where God chooses the weak things to confound the mighty. That's a good precept. That's right. Exploitation mindset. So they have to be seen by a stronger power for them to acknowledge righteousness, and that power is only coming from the Lord. Exploitation mindset. If someone is feeble, the wicked feel justified in taking advantage of them, oppressing them, or disregarding them altogether. To them, the strong exist to rule and consume, and the weak exist to be consumed. I'm glad I looked into that. And that's exactly how Esau feels. He got the most guns. You know, he got in his mind, he think he got all the power. He think he got all the control. He think he got all the strings. He thinks he's the puppet master. But he don't think the Lord's controlling him. And it doesn't really matter what he thinks, because through the Spirit you can see all of these things. This dude's carnal as hell. And we look at him like he's weak. And we see it all the time. We see that you're weak. The more this place, little cracks, you gotta lie about everything. You gotta go kill Kirk so you can hide everything else what's going on in these other countries that you're doing. That's what Esau's doing. That's his enchantments. That's what keeps these people, Edomites, in Disneyland. But you got a rude awakening coming, man. Oh, man, you got a rude awakening coming. I'm glad I woke up, man, just in time to see your fall, man. It's the greatest thing I've ever stumbled across on the internet, was to find out that you're a damn Edomite and I'm an Israelite. That's just the greatest thing. I mean, drop the mic. That's one of those. That's what it felt like when I came to the truth. Like, drop the damn mic. Game over. It's done. And whatever comes after that, hey, it is what it is. You can't unlearn this. Once you get it, you got it. That's it. You can go back into the world if you want, but you still got this word. So you're gonna be condemned with this word, man. So you better choose what side you're on if you come across it. Exploitation mindset. If someone is feeble, the wicked feel justified in taking advantage of them, oppressing them, or disregarding them altogether. To them, the strong exist to rule and consume, and the weak is to be consumed. Contrast with God's view. God declares that He is the strength of the poor, a refuge from the storm. Isaiah 25:4. The feeble are not worthless to Him. He lifts them up and humbles the proud. So this line exposes the ungodly as having an upside down standard opposite of God's. Perfect. Which we already know, but it's good to, if you don't know something, man, look it up, man. Wisdom of Solomon 2:12. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressings of our education. Let us lie in wait for the righteous. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon 2 goes into the 2/3. It goes into Esau's mindset, because they pretty much share the same mindset. But it also gets into Yahweh Shai and the Sadducees and Pharisees, how they were acting towards him. Because ultimately, he's the righteous man, the poor righteous man. You know, how they were coming up against him. So it's some of these scriptures are 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as you stay in it, you even see even further into it and see how it applies to his kingdom. And it just there's so many layers to these scriptures, man. And the Lord will open it up to you, man. Just the same chapter is like multiple different. It's all the same overall understanding, but it shines a light on multiple different things, man. I can't really explain it, but Wisdom of Solomon 2:12. But because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. Ooh, see? He's clean contrary to our doings, man. There's nothing you really can do against the elect, man. They try to oppress. They try to do all types of shit. But if the Lord's fighting for you, man, there's none of that shit's gonna work, man. You know, and that's the scary part about it all when I think of this chapter, because don't think like in my head I know Esau tried to do some shit to some of a lot of us men that are out here, and you had no clue, and the Lord fought for you, man. Like, I truly believe the Lord might have even tried to kill some of you. I'm not the Lord allowed Esau to try to do some shit to you. And he already lifted up standards for you. Because there's no way you can make it in this world, man. I mean, it just all the odds are against you. Every nation's against you. It's just the Lord, man. It's really up to him. Just I can't even explain how you even get to this point, man. You know, but I just know that's for sure, man. He definitely, and what I'm saying is, like, he probably sent people to do some shit to you, and something happened to them. And they know it. You don't know it, but they know not to fuck with you, man. Like, through the spirit, I can see that happening. They might fuck with you on certain levels, try to, you know, what's that? Peter, Satan has desired to sift you. Because that's the only way he can get to you. You got to destroy yourself, man. So he tries to give you all the tools you can to destroy yourself. Because he can't do it. You weak ass devil, man. It's like, this nigga, man, I'm telling you, man. Esau is like, you're gonna get burnt with fire, Esau. And the world's gonna love it. The trees, everyone's gonna rejoice. It's gonna be a good time. Just like when you were having those barbecues with Jake on the fire. That's gonna happen to you. You're gonna be happy too. Luke 22:31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Okay, what's that word, sift? It's not giving me the word. I don't know why I went to chat. As a matter of fact, Luke 22. And 31. Luke 22:31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Hold on. I want to read up. Luke 22:24. And there was also a strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest. And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors. But ye shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, as he that is chief, as he that doth serve. For whether is greater, he that sitteth at meat, or he that serveth? Is not he that sitteth at meat? But I am among you as he that serveth. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations. And I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father have appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. I wonder what they thought when they heard this, man. Like, what? Imagine the Lord saying, you're going to be sitting, drinking, eating at the table in the kingdom, sitting on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. They were like, what? With the Lord? What? And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. That's what I wanted to get, but I wanted to read up. Siniazo.
Strong's G 4617. Siniazo. Siniazo.
It says to sift, shake in a sieve, by inward agitation to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow. That's what he wants you to do, man. He wants you to throw away your faith in the Lord, man. Go back into the world and be a damn slave, peasant, a worthless nothing. But when you got faith, man, that's I know it's not good, man. It's not good. That's a loss for him, man. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 12, he upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. Yeah, the way you think, the way you act, okay? You offend our laws. You're a criminal. You're wicked. You're nasty. You're unclean. You are as death, and as the grave, you're as hell. You're a thief. You still kill and destroy. Nothing good comes out of you. Just wars. You can't rule. You're perverse. Okay. You know, you just fucking disgusting, man. You're the scum of the earth. You're a bottom of the barrel eating motherfucker. You're weak. You know, you're small. Your kingdom is a queendom. You know, you're violent because you need guns to make yourself feel strong. You're nasty. You don't bathe right. You don't use a face cloth when you wash your body. You run weird. You stink when you sweat. You smell like a dog. You sleep with your dog. Okay? And you're just not upright. You're you just need to be destroyed, man. You can't get right. And that's Esau. And you got the whole world, and you don't even look good in rulership, man. You gotta hide. You gotta hide your face, man. We're gonna be right in front of your face. You're gonna know who's ruling over you when Yasharalah's in power. Firsthand, and you ain't gonna be able to do anything about it. See, you gotta hide like the wicked. You can't even come out and say the type of shit that you be doing, man. But we know what you be doing, because you're pretty much the opposite. You know, all of this shit. Damn, I'm taking too long. You know, we know you be doing all of that. Let me finish this up. Wisdom of Solomon 2 verse 13. He professeth to have the knowledge of God, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. That's right. That's exactly what we do. We say we are the sons of God because our spirit beareth witness with the book, man. The curses. He was made to reprove our thoughts. That's why when they see us and we can get you according to the scriptures, and there goes the correction. They hate that. They hate the light. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. That's right. Why does he go out all the time? Why is he reading the Bible out in the street? Why don't you go to church on Sunday like everybody else? Why don't you be like us? Why don't you just accept the so-called white man as God? No. It's false, man. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. Yeah, you're fake. We call you the fake Jews, the fake Christians. You believe in falsehoods. You're a reprobate. Nobody wants to deal with you, talk to you about scriptures. We gotta talk to you about fairy tale shit, man. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. That's right. Because it is filthiness, man. You're unclean because according to the scriptures, you can't clean yourself up. You can't you can't be subject to the laws of God because you're filthy. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed. That's right, the elect, you're going to be blessed no matter what this devil does to you, just like Yahushua. And maketh his boast that God is his Father. And this is why we're glorifying Yahweh Bash and Yahushua in our bodies like we're supposed to do. Let me just grab this in Ecclesiasticus 13th chapter. Ecclesiasticus chapter 13. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awaken thy sleep. That's right. When you hear this, wake up. Love the Lord all thy life, and call upon him for thy salvation. Okay? So this is what we're doing. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon 2:17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. Yeah, let's see if he truly believes in what, if he gonna stand on what the scriptures say, or if we can get him to do something contrary to what he believes in. So you gotta be built up, man. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. And that's exactly why. He's going to deliver him from the hand of his enemies. He's going to do it. Not you. He is. See, the wicked understand this. Exodus 14:14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Okay, simple. Let the Lord work, man. And believe me, he. When I read this, it always makes me think the Lord, he done did something for you, man. Probably every single day, but this is why you can't thank him enough, man. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Okay? Just like Yahushua. He had a shameful death getting put on the crucifixion. Proving his meekness, his patience. Humiliating him. And this is what we're going through. We're going through the humiliation. We're going through the affliction. The Lord's going to prove us. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. That's right, man. They've been blinded. That's why they think the way they think. Because that wickedness, it blinds you into thinking you're doing something wrong. Ultimately, it's because the Lord ain't judge your ass, so you think you're doing something right. And that's just not the case. He tells you that. Job, in a couple places, but this is a good precept to bring out. 5:17. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. Because he's chastising who he loves. And he loves his elect. Wisdom of Solomon 2:21. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. As for the mysteries of God, they know them not. Neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. They didn't know this truth. They look at wages of righteousness as being weak. nor discern a reward for blameless souls, man. You couldn't discern who was the elect or not, man, and you treated them with disrespect, and you're gonna pay for that dearly with your life. Wisdom of Solomon 2 verse 23, for God, the Most High, created man to be immortal. That's what the sons of God were. They were created to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Made them, talking about the sons of God. Because before they were Israelites, they were known as the sons of God. Were created to be immortal. Okay? Made him to be an image of his own eternity. Adam. Okay? Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. Death.